Hi everyone, welcome to Digital Fanta's very first Bumandla Wednesdays, where we will be having candid conversations with some of the amazing women in the Digital Fanta network. Today, I am privileged to have two amazing ladies who I've seen and admired from a distance on this call with me. So I will give you ladies the opportunity just to tell us a bit about who you are for those that don't know about you, what you do professionally. Sadika, you can start.
Thank you, Mucha. I'm Sadika Fakir. I am the Integrated Media and Digital Director at Tiger Brands, prior to which I was at FNB as the media head, and prior to that, Nedbank as the media head. I have around 15 years experience within the media, communication, and integrated channel strategy field. But I think what's more important is I am exceptionally passionate about media, communications, digital transformation, but more so the people in the industry. And that's something that outside of my professional career is something that I'm exceptionally passionate about, and watching people grow and get opportunities within this industry. I am married. So sorry, guys and girls. I've been married for 11, 12 years, going into 12 years. I have two human children. I have a 10-year-old and a 3-year-old, and I have 5 non-human children. But if you put them all together, they make up one dog because they're so small. They're 5 chihuahuas. And I think a core thing of anyone who kind of knows me or who doesn't know that I'm a greedy girl. I love eating. I love food. I love cooking. I was going to be a chef, but alas, Indian parents would never allow you to follow that kind of background. I had to follow commerce, but exceptionally passionate about food, food photography, food styling, and anything to do with food.
That sounds amazing. I myself have tried one or two of your recipes. Your food always looks really good when we see it on
all the time.
Thank you. Thank you. That means so much.
Tammy Sondlo, born in Joburg, raised in Eastern Cape by my granddaddy. Career-wise, I am in media. I started at the media shop 2010, just after I graduated from varsity, and now I'm at FNB doing implementation strategy. I've got close to 10 years experience in the industry. And the one thing that I like about the industry that I'm in is that it gives me a chance to work with different people, to operate in different spaces. And the one thing that I'm also passionate about is women empowerment, and also just helping people in the industry, like upcoming people. Like as I've said, I'm from Eastern Cape. Who would have thought that a girl from Queenstown one day would be speaking in such platforms? So that's the one thing that I'm passionate about, and that is just driving me at the moment, giving people a platform, giving people a chance whenever I can, or a helping hand whenever I can. And another thing is that I'm a mother to an awesome 4-year-old. Like, yeah, trust me, she is full of life. She keeps me so busy. One thing I'm slowly starting to get into is cooking, because if you have a mentor like Sadika, it was bound to happen for me too. To find myself cooking. So I'm learning how to cook, learning how to bake, which is also a good way for me to spend time with my child as well. So we kind of use it as a mommy and daughter moment. And then I'm also starting to be passionate about health. Thanks to COVID, now learning to take care of myself, doing jogging, started hiking, can you believe it? And I survived.
Wow.
So
and you looked hot doing it, by the way. You looked hot doing it. So.
And I was burning literally 10 Ks is no joke.
That's really amazing. I think not everyone got out of COVID or the lockdown with a healthier lifestyle. Most people were binge eating. So it's good that you picked up a healthy habit over this time. So before we get started on the topic of the day, Tammy, what do you like to cook? We know Sadika cooks a lot of different things. I would just want to be a fly in a house just to see that food. But what do you like to cook?
For me, it differs. Hey, I always go to her page and then I try to copy whatever she made. But the one thing that I'm passionate about now, it's making couscous with prawns, because that one I nailed it. I didn't burn it. So that became my favorite dish. So if you would come over, I would make you that couscous with prawns. I think that I also tried to do was baking, and I made a pudding, which I got again also from a page, and that was a flop. So no.
Yeah, no, I think for me, the last thing I tried from her page was I think it was a vanilla cake soaked in milk, which was very nice. Although it didn't come out how it looked on Sadika's page, but at least the
That's
taste
the thing.
was okay.
Our food does not come out like Sadika's food.
Alas. So after COVID's over, all of you are coming for a big lunch. Well, my lunches lead to dinner, so wear big girl pants and you're all coming over.
No, definitely, definitely. So today we're here to talk about mentorship. I know, Sadika, you're very passionate about empowering people from the kind of content that you put out on LinkedIn, that we've shared even on the Digital Fanta Network. We know you're a giver. And I've seen how you are even with me. You're always there to lend a helping hand. And I thought, why not get both of you here just to chat about mentorship from a mentee and mentor perspective, and see if we can help other people like me, or other people who are looking into getting a mentor, and how the whole mentorship works. So the first question I have, which is not really mentorship related, is how long have you guys known each other? Because from seeing you guys relate, it seems like you guys have known each other for a decade at least.
Sadika, how long? It's like 2 minutes.
It's literally 2 minutes. So I met Tam 2017. That was the first time I had met Tam. It was my first day at FNB. It was a Friday, and it was the September 2017. So that's how long I've known. So we are coming up for our, is it 3 year? Yes, we're coming up for our 3-year anniversary.
Wow. Wow, you guys have really relate well together. So Sadika, what does it mean to you when we say women growing women?
It means a couple of things for me personally. It means a sisterhood that is there. It's not just one woman growing a woman. You know, that saying about it takes a village. And it's exactly that. For me, woman growing woman means a sisterhood that is not just there for the bad times or the good times or in personal aspects, you know, just to go and have margaritas with the girls. A sisterhood is a circle that fundamentally will change your life. It'll change who you are as a human being. It'll change who you are from a career perspective. And ultimately, you should come out a better human when it comes to growing a woman growing woman. Outside of which, there are lots of perceptions about women in the workplace. There are a lot of perceptions about women of color in the workplace. I personally have come off the bat of, are you sure you're going to make it in corporate? Why don't you go back to Durban, make babies and make roti and full samosas, being an Indian female? And woman growing woman means I can be culturally orientated, I can cook good meals, but I can also be there for my family, but I can also grow my career. Women growing women do not judge women who want to have personal lives, who want to build into their love lives, who want to also have solid relationships with friends, who want to have solid relationships with themselves, solid relationships with God, but on top of that, still want to grow in our industry. So woman growing woman means a support structure for me, and being open to have frank, open, honest conversations with each other so we can grow each other in this very untransformed industry we find ourselves in.
Oh, that sounds amazing. So Tammy, because Sadika's your mentor, how would you say your life, or how have you grown as a woman under her mentorship?
So under Sadika's mentorship, based on what you just said, and it's exactly like that, women growing women, and also the one thing that I'm so privileged and blessed for is for her expanding her network And she's not lying. It is a sisterhood. She has introduced me to other sisters who help me grow in other areas that I never thought I even needed help in growing. And in that regard, it also gave me the confidence that I needed in order for me to be able to help other people as well and expand my circle to other sisters as well. So what we have, it's really a sisterhood, and it goes beyond work, the 8 to 5. It's being able to call Sadika on a Sunday to say, Nati is choking, what do I do? Oh, Sadika, I'm trying to make pasta, what do I add? You know, it's really like, and now the fact that we've expanded that sisterhood to other people, now the circle is growing. From Sadika mentoring me and giving me this courage, the strength, it has helped me to also open the doors for other people and introduce them into our circle, which now it means the circle is growing. There's a lot of women growing other women now.
Oh, awesome. So Sadika, I can see the impact that you've had in Tammy's life and other people as a result who've benefited from Tammy being in their lives. How did you become this person? Did you have perhaps a female leader or a mentor yourself who made you who you are, or who contributed into being the mentor that you are today?
I'm going to answer very frankly, it was the lack thereof. It was women not believing in me. It was, unfortunately, some of my family members not believing in me. I was told fat equals stupid, and I wasn't going to make it. So I didn't have a sisterhood. I had people more against me, and I said, let me never be this person. And that's something that my father, so Tam goes granddad, I go father. It's just so funny. Tam and I share male figures that have actually grown us more than female figures in our life. And and I always see a similarity between Tam's granddad and my father. And ultimately, it was my father's good nature. And I said that I need to form a support structure for the future Sadikas that sat alone in a room and going, what am I going to do? So mine was off the set of lack. And especially being a female of color during apartheid, trying to get into advertising and media, which was already, we were getting told, are you sure about this? You're not. So apparently, if you're of color, you're not creative either. So I had to fight these norms. And then I said, no, but there are going to be other people behind me coming. So I need to create this platform. And even if I'm opposed, I'm going to push forward for it. So it wasn't actually inspiration from females. It was an inspiration from a male, but the lack of not having that support.
So I can draw parallels from both of you guys in the sense that when you are faced with a challenge, you don't really back down. You take the positive that you can from it and move forward. So with Sadika, you then began a community based on your lack of having that community yourself. And Tammy, you, from being in lockdown, you chose to, instead of binge eating and gaining lots of weight, you actually chose to take up healthier habits, which is awesome to see. So as women, we are underrepresented in this industry. I read an article that actually said that only 29% of women hold senior positions in Africa. As a woman in a senior position yourself, Sadika, why do you feel it's important to have a mentor?
So you can build your wisdom. I go back to the Bible, and the wisest person in the Bible was King Solomon. And what did he pray for? He prayed for wisdom. Before riches, before fame, wisdom. And I look for that, and I look for that with any of my mentees. Before you want that beautiful bag, before you want the Botox and the boobs, you need to ask for discernment and wisdom. And that's why we need more mentors. In some instances, you think you're not doing a good job. And sometimes you just need a perspective to go, it's not half full, or half empty, it's half full. So mentees and mentor relationships give a different perspective to the candidate. So in some instances, I'll draw examples with Tam. There's some instances where she wasn't seeing that she was doing something. So she goes, I need to learn strategy. And I'm going, no, but you are doing it. No, I'm not. No, but you are seeing strategy as a PowerPoint presentation. And I always use this example, especially with media. There's a perception that a buyer can't be, and Tam needs to come into this now. There's a perception that a buyer can't grow into strategy. I mean, that is just, it's a lie. I always go, did we wake up today and did we log on to this meeting? Yes, we did. So that means we fundamentally clicked on a link. We are now here, which means we're strategic. It means we followed an instruction and we have achieved an objective. So sometimes you just need a different perspective about your life, about your ability. And that's why mentorship for me is just so important.
And Tammy, what are your thoughts based on what Sadika said, especially when it comes to the buyers not being strategic?
That point, yeah, because it was my life for the longest. And I guess, again, that's where the importance of having a mentorship, a mentor comes in. Because as Sadika mentioned, I used to be that person in a corner thinking this is all that I'm good for, because there's no one else giving you a push, or there's no one else willing to give you a hand. And that's why having a mentor, being in a mentorship program is very important, because now you've got that one person who gives you the push when you feel like, okay, you know what, I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm giving up. And then that one person to just give you the push. And the one thing that I like about the relationship that I have with Sadika is that as much as it's all about helping people grow, when you grow as a person, it's easy for you now to help the next person. And the one thing that we always say is that you do not have to be mean to be a boss. You do not have to be mean to make a point or to state your ground. You don't have to do that. You can be kind and still be in a position like Sadika. Like sometimes I'll be like, I've never met someone in Sadika's position, and so with such kindness, always willing to help. And now that is filtering down to me to say it's not about a position. If you can help a person, it's not about a position, it's not about a title. Just to give your time, just to be kind to the next person, that can do a lot. Just a simple kindness can do a lot. It can change someone's day, which can in turn make the day, and they can be productive at work. So it's just the little things that matters, and I've learned through this journey with myself and Sadika.
I think it's just so important, Tam, you talk the story about you being a buyer and to where you are today. I just think many people need to hear it, because there's so many perceptions about our industry.
Yeah, so I was a buyer for, I think, 4 or 5 years. And I wanted to learn how to become a planner, but it was a matter of there's boxes. I always say, like, there's boxes, and there shouldn't be boxes. Just because I started as a buyer, it doesn't mean I should end as a, and that's the one thing that I don't want to say it ticks me off, but it kind of does, because I feel in the industry, there's a lot of boxes. And I was also put in one of those boxes to be like, no, this is where you belong. This is where you are, until certain person came and be like, no, what? There's not a box. There was never a box. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? What is your passion? And because I'm such a liker of things, I didn't even know what I wanted. I'm like, I want to be a planner, I want to be a straight, but I'm also passionate about comms. Where do I go? And then implementation strategy came about. And I was like, perfect. Because now I just moved from being a buyer. In my head, the next step was to become a planner, because that is the norm, right? You become a buyer, you become a planner. Hopefully one day someone will see me, and then I'll become a strategist, and then a strategist, and then that's where it ends. And then Sadika came with a different story to be like, no, how do you want your story to end? What is your story? What do you want to tell? And then that gave me the push that I needed to be like, you know what, actually, take me out of the box, don't put me in a box. Let me be able to do whatever I want to do. And that's the one thing that I always say to anyone who'd ask me, like, how do you do it? I'm like, don't put yourself in a box. Do not put yourself in a box. And don't let anyone put you in a box to tell you you can't do something. Follow your passion. No matter what, no matter the circumstances, always follow your passion. So that's, buyer, now implementation strategist.
Now, I think you've shared some key points in terms of the importance of breaking the ceiling. I think as women, And more so women of color, we've always been told that this is where you fit. If you find yourself being good at a buyer, then you must stay as a buyer because that's where you've excelled. Whereas you have many more passions and strengths and more things that you can give to your corporate world and to your life as a whole. So I think it's really amazing for you to share your story, Tammy. And I know that probably someone who's going to watch this is going to have that motivation to see what else they can do, because a lot of people are probably unhappy in their jobs because they've now become monotonous and they don't know that they can do more. So I'm really grateful that you shared this part of your life. So Sadika, I've heard that to become a mentor, you have to have a lot of experience. You have to have been a manager for 20 years and you have to have led thousands of people. Of course, that's a myth, but what are your thoughts? What makes one person become a mentor? How do they go about it?
So I think I'll send a question to you. Do you want to make a difference?
Yes.
Is it in your heart to change somebody's life? Then you're a mentor. So anyone can be a mentor. I'm not in that school of thought. You've got to be the 1% of the top echelon of the media or the marketing industry to mentor. No. If you fundamentally want to make a difference in somebody's life, be kind, as Tammy said, be empathetic, as Tammy said, and make a difference in somebody's life. Mentorship, I think people think that they're files and pieces of paper and they're big documents to go through. Sometimes mentorship is as simple as having a G&T on a Saturday afternoon and just listening. Sometimes mentorship is having a virtual conversation like this and having a sisterhood conversation, a frank, open conversation like this. Sometimes, yes, mentorship is opening up a PowerPoint presentation and showing Tammy, how do you do a consumer journey linked to media consumption? So there are different levels of mentorship, but I think we hide behind you must have led. Which brings me to my next point. There's a perception that we must demystify. I've spoken to a couple of mentees and I've had to demystify this thing that they go, I'm not a leader. And I go, but what do you mean? No, I don't have people under me. That is a manager. The last thing about leadership that I enjoy is signing absentee slips and having HR issues, okay? If you are leading your projects right now, if you are leading something, if you're waking up in the morning and checking your mails and responding, if you're doing the best that you can do, then you already are leading. You are leading your projects. And this is where I go. The best leaders come out from, I don't care if I don't have people under me. I'm going to do good, I'm going to be kind, and I'm going to lead. And that's where I go. Today, I hope someone is hearing this and going, actually, there's an intern working with me at an agency that perhaps just needs 10 minutes of my time to show them something. That's mentorship. There's someone who's not looking themselves today. Let me go on a virtual conversation and have a chat to see if they're okay. That's mentorship. And so too, what will happen is that you yourself as the mentor will start developing your leadership skills. You'll learn about yourself. And there's no qualification that teaches you that. And it's a matter of, I identified who I was as a mentor when I started speaking to growing women like Tammy. I've realized, and you have to realize who you are as a mentor and who you will take on as mentees. I've realized I have some long-term mentees that are going to be for life. And then I have some mentees that come in because they're looking for their next promotion or they're looking for their next growth. I realized I'm a high performance mentor. So if you want to grow, if you want to have high performance, high energy. So if you really have a 10-year plan and you want to stick to that 10-year plan, I'm not your mentor. But if you go, I actually want to speed things up, I have no time, then I'm your mentor. So that's the biggest thing for me. I think anyone can be a mentor if you want to help and make a difference.
Wow, that's really profound, because a lot of people, I used to think mentorship, to become a mentor, one, you have to know a lot and you have to have a lot of time. But from how you're putting it, sometimes it's just 10 minutes of your time, as you said,
That's it.
which will make a difference. And I really love the fact that both of you have mentioned kindness. Kindness is so important. We work sometimes in very toxic environments where a bit of kindness makes a whole lot of difference. So I'm really amazed at the fact that at the core of your journey together is kindness. And I know you both are making a world of difference, and I'm honored to have you share with us today. So, Tammy, you're very quiet today. I want to find out from you, are you still with us?
I am
Firstly.
here. I am listening. Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you. We can see you. So I wanted to find out from you, how did you become Sadika's mentee? Did you look at her as, of course, you looked at her as someone who inspired you, someone who had shown you kindness, but what made you take that next step to have her as your mentor?
Funny enough, I was thinking about that as she's talking about that as a mentor, you don't need like qualifications and whatnot. And I'm asking myself, how did we get to this point? Because for me, growing up to have a mentor, it sounded like this big thing that you have to fill in these forms, go through like this process, be vetted, you know, like go through all of these channels in order for you to get a mentor. And for us, our story is very different. It's very different. As she said, we met, she started on a Friday and she freaked me out. I'm like, oh my gosh, a boss on a Friday, already one-on-ones, my gosh. No. And like, to be honest, I think we clicked, hey. It was the energy. It was the energy from day one. And the one thing that I liked about her, and I still like and admire, it's her honesty. Like, Sadika is so honest. Like, day one, she was so honest and like brutally honest with me. And I was like, okay, all right, like now you are stuck with me. Like, day one, literally, I told her, I'm like, you are now stuck with me. If these are the principles you live by, if these are the values you live by, teach me, show me. And then Sadika is like, there's nothing to teach you. Like, you're already doing half of these things. You're already there, but now it's just, you just need a boost. You just need a kick, you know? And then from there, having those honest conversations when I'm going astray, to have a honest conversation again with like, Tammy, what are you doing? Come back. It was just those little things. And the one thing for me, I won't lie, it's the honesty. The honesty that we have, the open and honestness that we have in our relationship is the one thing that has made me stick with Sadika and still want to stick with Sadika for like the longest, because she, yeah, like her kindness, if you want to grow, as she said, be prepared for some honest conversation, not only with her but also with yourself. That's the one thing she's taught me. Honest conversations also with yourself. Before you can have an honest conversation with the next person, it starts with you. Everything that she's taught me, it always goes back to with you. Like, it starts with you. So yeah, that's how we met. It was just the energy, and we took it from there. We've been moving since.
And I think I want to feed into that. It's not just honesty. I said to Tammy, I suppose it is a little bit of honesty. I said to Tammy, I'm not the person that's going to hug you and kiss you. You have friends,
You said that.
you have family for that. I am your aggravator. I'm here to agitate you. And if you don't like me at the end, I don't care. I am here to challenge you. I'm not here to be liked. And I say that to Tammy. If you block me on Facebook, it's fine. It's okay. But if I challenged you, and that's my biggest thing. So I'm going to aggro you. I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to make you disrupt your own conventions, because that is about mentorship. It's to look at your areas of growth, have an open conversation with your mentor, and go, all right, so challenge me. And this is where I just accolade Tammy. Tammy speaks very highly of me, but I don't think many people know that I have learned so much about respect from Tammy. Tammy's heart is probably one of the most beautiful hearts that I've ever come across in my life, should I say. So the biggest thing here is that the amount I have learned, and I go mentors, leaders, how much can you learn from your mentees? I am, I believe, who I am because of people like Tammy, but especially Tammy. She's taught me definitely to listen a lot more before I speak. She's definitely, and it's something I still aspire to be even kinder. So a lot of my build in kindness has come from Tammy. Outside of which, I have yet to experience someone with so much more respect than Tammy. And the reason why I will stick with Tammy is the fact that her humility and her respect, no matter what. Tammy has worked on some of the biggest campaigns in this country. She has been behind some of the most successful integrated channel strategies in this country. However, you'd never hear it unless you ask the question. And the biggest thing is humility and respect in this industry, outside of this industry, and Tammy has that. And this is where I go, guys, you got to speak to Tammy, you got to hear her story, because it is based in the foundation of humility and respect.
Thank you so much, Sadika. So you see why I love Sadika.
You guys sound like a match made in heaven. So
thank you so much.
Besides humility, respect, Sadika, what would you say are some of the other characteristics that make a good mentee?
I think the biggest thing is, and you're going to hear it like a lot from me, drive. You've got to be exceptionally passionate. You've got to think bigger than yourself. And where I always say to Tammy is, I don't think you were thinking big enough. I want you to think bigger. And Tammy's consistently, and I'm talking daily, weekly, started to think bigger. So you've got to be in a position where you start thinking bigger than yourself. You've got to start thinking that you can change the world, you can shift the industry. And that is what I personally look for in mentees, that passion and that drive. But, I'm going to go but, don't let it get to your head, because then I will fire you as a mentor. Okay. So what I've experienced, unfortunately, as well, there are many other people that have had the same opportunity with me as Tammy. Okay. And some people have taken it and used it for malicious intent. All right. To grow themselves, become arrogant, become ignorant, and used it for ego. Now that's something I don't appreciate. Whereas you have a Tammy and you have a couple of my other mentees that have used it to grow others, to empower others, to transform the industry, to grow themselves, but do it in humility. So those are the kind of things that I look for in mentees, because the biggest thing here is we are doing something to make the world a better place. And that's what's so important.
Definitely. And Tammy, if you could tell someone what makes a good mentor, what would you say? What characteristics?
For me, it would be number one, I think humility. Like someone who is humble. As I've said, the title should not be the thing that is driving you. Like I will make an example with Sadika. Sadika, she was the head of media. Now she is moved, but still her humility, you know. And number two, someone also with an open mind, because dealing with different mentees with different personalities, it's a lot. Sometimes I'll even say to Sadika, I'm like, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it, because you deal with different personalities. Yes, you do meet people who really want help, and you do meet people that want to take advantage of you. But because of the heart and the openness that Sadika has, she kind of makes it look like it's easy. So that's what I would say, be humble, humility, and openness, and honesty as well. Someone who's honest, yeah, because when you are honest, it's easy now to mentor people.
But I want to also add, Tam, you've always said to me that, and look, we've worked together, and we've also done, and we continue to do the mentorship thing, and we've built a friendship, and it's actually a sisterhood now. Okay, it's more than friendship. And I think the biggest thing is, can you just have an open relationship? Can you have my biggest question is, can you have a GNT with your mentor, or is it so clinical that you have to fill files up and you try to impress your mentor? So the biggest thing is, you should be in a position to also build a good, solid relationship between a mentor and a mentee. Because that's where the magic happens.
That's true. To add to that, what Sadika said, the importance of having the relationship is that when you have that one-on-one relationship with your mentor, it really plays a big part. And sometimes we take it for granted. It's like we need to have sessions once in a while to check in with your mentor, which is not the case. Once you have that relationship and it turns into a sisterhood, you check in like daily. You check in with personal stuff, you check in with your career, you check in with family, and then in that aspect, it helps you to grow as a person in like full 360. It's no longer becomes just about work, but it becomes about the person. And that's a good point, Sadika. The relationship, it is very, very, very important to have an open relationship with your mentor.
I agree with that. I think relationships are at the core of each and every, are at the core of life itself. And just how you have a relationship or friendship with your husband or your partner or your wife, it's important with your mentor to have that open relationship, that honesty, to be able to chat about anything. I think it then makes the whole mentorship relationship easier, because I think if you don't, then you're going to stick to, oh, we only speak once a month. Then you will yourself to have that conversation once a month. Then after that, you forget about it. But if you have the friendship, then it just makes everything flow better. So let's say I've self-reflected and I feel like I am in a position that I need a mentor. How would I go about finding a senior level mentor, Sadika?
So I think the first thing is I go back to our initial starting statement. Please look at yourself. So the step one is critical, and it's either your circle of growth or it's your circle of loss. So you first need to identify who needs to be in your circle and who doesn't. Not everyone is out there for you. And I need the girls to understand this. It's a very hard thing that I'm saying. Not everyone is there for you. Not everyone wants to see you grow, girls. And you've got to use some discernment and some wisdom to identify who's in your circle. Then you need to look at the levels. And I always say, take a piece of paper. And this is what Tammy did. She looked at her circle and she goes, okay, so there's Sadika in my circle. There's person A, B, C. Now, Sadika is connected to A, B, C, D. So you can already start seeing a network being built up. And person A is linked to A, B, C, D. Now, Tammy wants to grow in comms. Okay, so Sadika knows someone in PR who runs a PR agency. Can Sadika perhaps introduce me to that? Because maybe Sadika is not quite strong at PR, but I want to grow in PR. So you can already start seeing by plotting all the women or whoever, even the guys, obviously, on a piece of paper to identify who's in my current network. I promise you there is at least one senior person in your network, guys. And that one senior person has to know one more senior person. And that one senior person must know two more senior people. And. Outside of which we are blessed in this industry that we don't just have peers and colleagues, we have media owners who are exceptionally senior in this industry, who are thought leaders in this industry. So then make a list of your media owners. And I think we as the media industry don't think we can turn to media owners as our mentors. I personally have 3 or 4 mentors within myself, within the media owner industry. So the biggest thing here is plot down your people from lowest to highest. You may find that a mid-level person is your link to a chief marketing officer that you want to get to because they service that piece of business. So the biggest thing is, it sounds a bit selfish, how might Sadika help me? So your next opportunity, I promise you, your next job opportunity is coming from your network. It's not coming from a classified ad. So if your network is not healthy, if you're not in touch with senior people, if you're not going, hi, can I just have 5 minutes of your time? Or I'm phoning, how are you, to senior people? That is where your opportunities come from. That's where your growth comes from. So I guess everyone listening to this has some homework to do today. Get some blank pieces of paper and start looking at who can you WhatsApp and who can you ask for a favor. And I promise you, people are generous. I am where I am, 1, of the grace of God, and 2, because of all of the people and my network that I've grown on. So I'm walking on shoulders of great people.
Just to add on to what Sadika said, there's this misconception that like a mentor has to be someone senior. Sometimes it's someone in your circle, and it just takes that, hi, I need you to help me with this moment. And then you don't know, as Sadika said, you don't know the number of people that person knows. We always want to look on like seniors, people outside our circle in higher levels, ignoring the ones that we have right here within our circle.
Mid-level. The mid-levels. Exactly. Yeah. So that's our biggest advice, right, Tam? I think both of us have grown from the mid-level, whether it's the account manager at a media owner that actually can hook you up with the MD. And you know what? The MD knows Oprah.
Exactly.
So the biggest thing is, please don't underestimate, don't go for the 1%. You sometimes are actually not going to get their time. So try for, maybe ask a business unit head or ask a media strategist to be your mentor, because maybe it's not technical skills you're looking for. Maybe you're just looking to be a kinder person. Maybe you realize that you're a bit shitty and you need to learn how to be kinder. So it's a matter of, that's one thing. And then the other thing, sorry, I'm belaboring the point. You need to realize your areas of growth. So again, if you're a shitty human and you realize that you're shitty, then maybe you need a mentor that can teach you kindness. So that's mentor one. Then you realize that maybe I've been too focused on above the line and now I need to move into digital. So then I'm going to find a digital strategist that can perhaps teach me some digital. And then I've also realized that maybe I'm not good with project management. So maybe I just want to ask for some assistance from an account executive at a DSTV, for example, because they handle multiple clients and I just want to know how they manage it. So you already see, I've just connected 3 things because I've looked at my areas of growth. So the first step is look at your circle. And the thing is, as Tammy clearly said, please reflect. What are your areas of growth? If you say you have no areas of growth, yo, shame. Because we are born to be imperfect. And we, as servant leaders, need to consistently serve people, but also serve ourselves to improve who we are on a daily basis. So look at those areas of growth and have an open and honest conversation with yourself.
So self-reflection is key.
Yeah, I was going to say that being honest to yourself before anything else, that is key. That is critical.
Without knowing where you want to get, you won't get there. So once
you won't know, you won't even recognize the help when it's just right in front of you, because you don't even know what you need, or
So we have mentees covered, but if you're a mentor and you want to get practical steps on how to be a mentor or how to improve someone else's life, how would you go about that?
Cool. So I'll give you a couple of practical steps, and then Tam, I'm going to hand over to you on your, because you're currently mentoring as well. From my side, my first thing is, look, I do get approached quite a lot, and I suspect that I'll probably get some calls after this as well, Tam. And I'm having an open conversation here. I do chemistry sessions first and foremost, because I'm not gonna spend time with someone that's just wanting to put me on their CV. Let me be honest. I am looking for mentees that I can build deep, long-term relationships with, where we can learn from each other, because it must be win-win for the mentor and the mentee. So the first thing, I always go to mentors. And again, I'm not saying leaders in the industry, I'm saying mentors in the industry, because you could be an analyst right now and be one of the best mentors in this industry. So the biggest thing here is, first do a chemistry session with someone that has asked you. Don't just say yes, please. It's the worst mistake you'll ever make, because now you committed to this person and this person ends up being a bit festive. So the first thing you need to do is have a chemistry virtual session, and really ask about the person. And in that session, I always get to know the story. I get to know the areas of growth. I make them prepare. So you must be mentors. You must also be hard on your mentees. They must prepare for sessions. They must take control of their life. And what I also do is review their CV. Then I do a little bit of Facebook stalking and Instagram stalking. I must be honest, because really what you see on CV versus what you see on social media, 2 different things. And you as a mentor need to realize what you want to associate with. It's a tough conversation, but remember, your reputation goes with every mentee that you touch. So mentors be very careful about who you take on, okay? Because there are also some mentees that are coming in for malicious intent, which you also need to be very wary about. So the first thing is that chemistry session, review the mentee. And the next aspect is when you have this conversation, you put it back to the mentee to go, you call me. I'm willing to help you or I'm not. You need to have a very open conversation. I don't think we fit. So mentors, you're gonna have to have an open conversation. You can't say yes to everyone. And time for me is the most precious commodity. So if I'm giving you 1 minute of my life that I can never get back, it's precious. You better be feeding into this world and making the world a better place. And then the next step is then what I go is, and again, I'm practical, and again, there could be very different approaches. I then design a course of where they want to be. So I kind of personally go, okay, so you want a promotion. I want to grow from buying into planning. Okay, how might you do that? And then my mentorship sessions are very practical like that, to go, okay, how do you join the dots? All right, what is the media process? All right, how might you already start excelling? Okay, so if you want to go into planning, that means you need more media owner engagement. Let me introduce you to the head of sales of this media owner. So I already start working at the back end to bring in experts that I may not have expertise on. And that's something that I always say to the mentors, you don't have to do this yourself. You already have a network. So if someone wants to talk about digital, I'm sure you know someone in digital. So for one of the mentorship sessions, the mentor will be there, the mentee, and a specialist, for example. So even the workload as well, because you are not expected to know everything, mentors. You're really not. I can't profess to know everything, but I can confess to knowing quite a few people who can perhaps assist me in the mentorship session. Tam, your side?
From my side, it goes back to the relationships. With me, it's very important. If, like I said, when I met Sadika, it was the energy, it was the vibe. If I have to be honest, if the one time I meet you and we are not clicking or like, I'm sorry, I can't fake it, and I can't force it. We have to build some sort of relationship, friendship going on, because then it makes it easier for me to do check-ins, for you to do check-ins, or to just pick up a call and say, I'm stuck here. I also believe in having like a project plan. Tell me what's the plan, what do we want to achieve, and then we do like check-ins. How far are you? Like, again, using like I just said now, use the person to the next person that can be able to assist in that area where I know I can't, but at least I know someone that can assist. And then also time is precious. Time is precious. So once I avail myself to you, I'm expecting you to also kind of meet me halfway. And if you come to me for help, I'm not expecting, and I don't expect you to expect you. It needs to be like I said, a relationship, 50-50. Let's meet each other halfway. You need help, and I'm here to assist. Let's meet each other halfway, especially if now I'm also extending my circles to other people. Let's make sure that we use and we don't waste other people's time. So as soon as you call anyone to say, I need help, you must be certain and be prepared to also put in the work. Because sometimes I find that people say, I want you to be, you're like, but why? No, I like your Instagram page. Okay. Like, where is gonna lead, like, where are we going with that? You like my page? Okay, go to the page. But there needs to be something concrete, and you need to be, like, seriously, you need to be able, like, willing to put in the work. You need to put in the work.
I personally have learned a lot from having this conversation with both of you. And for one, as the new role that I've taken on in Digital Fanta as the CEO, I never saw myself as someone who could be a mentor to someone, but from having this chat with you, I can see that I can also make a difference in someone else's world just by starting to be kind. And, that's where it starts. So I've really enjoyed having this chat with you. So before I let you guys go, do you have any parting words that you'd like to leave with anyone who's watching?
From my side, I will say, especially now, Women's Month, let's continue to shine. Let's continue to take up spaces. Let's, as I've said, there are no boxes. Like, there are no boxes. So this is our time. This is our time to shine. This is our time to actually live beyond our imagination. Let's go after our dreams, and let's put in the work. Let's work hard. Yay, power to us and gents.
I think on my side is you walk on your destiny before you attain it. Okay, so your opportunity, your next growth opportunity, and I know there's so many people out here looking for jobs. Your next opportunity is under your nose. Can you please get a piece of paper and start reflecting on what you've walked past, what you want to attain? And I always go, it starts with you. Your next opportunity is not that there's nothing available in the industry. It starts with, what is my next growth opportunity? What is my growth? And this is the time to do it. We're entering a new season. It's not about COVID taking jobs. It's about COVID creating opportunities. And now is the time to start creating your own opportunities and just be a better human being. Kindness, there's that perception that the kind chick will never get the corner office. That is bull. There is no escalator to success. You have to take the stairs whilst looking hot doing it, being a chick. And the other thing is that kind chicks, it's going to take longer. It takes a lot more time to be kinder. It takes a lot from you to be kinder. But in the long run, kindness and empathy and building into a positive culture, personal life and corporate, will pay off on business results and will pay off in personal growth.
Amazing. Thank you so much, ladies. I really enjoyed this chat and look forward to having you back on the show soon. Thank you
So much.
Thank you for this opportunity. We look forward to the next chat.
Definitely.
Yes. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.